Hi, this is Camille in my junk journal heaven. Thank you for coming to watch my video. And I want to thank all my subscribers and the people who watch the videos. And if you watch and you enjoy them, please subscribe. Got some messes here. Today I want to make, I'm sure a lot of people have done this, but I'm calling these matchbook surprises. This one I've already made up. I doubled the paper because my paper was thin and I didn't think it would work very well. And as a matter of fact, I need to glue it right there. Anyway, I lined it and then I glued in some pages to make a little tablet. Some of the others I want to do something different, but this is what I did with this one. And I figured it could be glued into a journal. It could be, you could put it in your purse if you wanted to for notes. Could be glued in a journal. It can just be stuck in a pocket in a journal. It can be almost anything, and I'll show you how I made it. I'm going to make some bigger ones, and so I think I've got a couple that are smaller. But anyway, we'll get going here. I have this paper, and I backed it with this yellow paper. This is drawing or writing paper that you can get from Amazon. It's nice for backing things. It gives them a little bit of body and so forth. It looks like I need to trim a little bit of the yellow off here at the edge. All right. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Today is or would be my 56th wedding anniversary. But as far as I'm concerned, it is, because I'm married to my husband forever. And so today would be 56 years. We were married on July 12th, 1968. That's a long time ago. Oh, I don't like the way that's glued at all. I wonder if I can get it up. Probably not. All right, well, we'll just see what we can do with it. Maybe it won't matter because it'll be down here. Now, this one's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big pocket. Matchbook Surprise, whatever it is. I did these with a glue stick, and some of it stuck and some of it didn't. So I think I'll probably end up putting something up here to cover that. The little one I didn't show you. I did different papers in here. I did coffee dyed and notebook paper and some of the yellow paper. Just folded them over and then I glued them in. They could be stapled in. You can also staple the bottom. I don't have a stapler handy. I don't think. Actually, I might have one in here, but I don't know where it is, so we're not going to bother with it. But what I do is glue along here. Just, here's the crease, and you glue just above it and down into it. So that this paper stays over there. So it stays, so you can flip this in like that for the matchbook. Now, because this was glued and it's kind of floppy, it probably needs to be put under something heavy. And I will do that later. It'll be under something heavy. And I think I want to round my corners because I think that would look good. And I'm going to do it with the, well, that needs to be glued too. But let's round it first, because once the glue's in there, it won't want to round. And it may not anyway. Well, I don't think that's going to work. Let me see if this one will work. Okay, so this one will if I get both papers in there at the same time. And the heat wave continues. I hope everybody's able to stay cool and nice. We had a good rain and thunderstorm the other day, but it's dried up now. Okay, this needed to be glued. I don't know if it's that I don't put the glue sticks on right or if they're just not good. I just don't have very much luck with glue sticks. But this big of an area, I didn't want to try and cover it with my art glitter glue because it gets dry too fast and it'll dry before I get to the end of the other edge of it. I don't know what I want to put inside here yet, so I think what I'd like to do is, well, let's see here. Maybe I can figure out what I want to do. It could be something that you open up and there's a surprise inside, or it can be writing paper. It could be almost anything. And because this is messed up here, I think I need to cover it with another piece of the paper. Or I could cover it with this. Just cover the whole thing with this, and that would give it lines to write on. I think that's too stark white. That's okay in a tablet, but it's just too stark. Okay, let's do the coffee dyed paper. And let me see if I've got any glue in this glue stick left. See if this one does any better. I'm gonna rub it on here all the way around. And I think I'll put the art glitter glue around the edge of it so that it gets all the edges. Does anybody else have this problem with their glue sticks? I don't know. This isn't the one I used on gluing this together, but I don't have much luck with this kind either. I know Edith at Scrapbooking with Me just loves this one, but it doesn't do much for me. Maybe I don't use it right. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And then I'll trim off the edge of it. I'm going to try and get it even with the sides. Now this was something that was a mistake or a problem, and like I always say, there's a way to fix it when you're doing junk journals. There's always a way to fix everything. Here's part where it didn't stick to the yellow. The yellow didn't stick to the scrapbook paper. You could do this with cardstock and it would probably be easier and would probably work a little better. You wouldn't have to back it with anything. But this was just scrapbook paper that I had, and I like the colors that I have because they're going to work for what I want it to work for. So that's why I'm using this. Otherwise, I think I would use cardstock or heavier weight paper. It would make life a lot easier. And I pre-glued all these with backing because I'm sure you know how to glue two pieces of paper together. All right. Now let me just smooth that out again. And I shouldn't fold it when it's wet because I know that's going to cause trouble. So maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do really good and do another one instead. I have this little one here, and I was thinking what I could do with this. And the first thing I'm going to do is glue this piece down here so it opens like the matchbook. But I'm thinking this could open up and be a journaling spot. Well, I better get this glue in here. This could open up and be like a journaling spot. And actually, I think I could cut it in a tag shape up here. And I think I will. I have somewhere, well, I'm not going to find that in this mess. Somewhere I have a little thing that I cut, a little card that I cut to make tag shapes, but I'll just cut this. Do the little turn trick. Okay, close enough. Now I want to ink it, of course. So I think this could be in a tag place, in a tag slot. You could put it in a pocket like a tag, and then it would be a surprise because it opened up. I kind of like things that you don't think are, you think they're one way and then they turn out to be something different. So instead of being just a regular tag, this one's going to open up with journaling space inside. And I'm going to ink along there. Oh, missed that part. Okay, and I'm using ground espresso today. That's just because that's the sponge I had on my thing. Okay, now this goes under here. And I need something to embellish it with. And you know, I like to embellish things and then maybe split the embellishment so that it looks different. I like to do strange things. Well, I think I could put one of these young ladies on here and then divide it down there so that half stayed on one side and half on the other. But I don't know which one I want to do. I think I'll do this one. And if you watch me before, you know that these are, well, you can see it's on a roll. And I got it from Temu. It has girls on it, young ladies, little things that look like packages of paper and maybe ink. I don't know. And I'm going to have to cut off these flowers here because they're not going to work with it. All right, now I need my Pokey Tool to get it separated from the backing, which is always difficult because they're both thin and they like to work together and not apart. But I don't want to glue the whole thing down. I want the backing off. I can feel it's coming apart. There. Now this is going to be an experiment. We'll have to see if it works. I've done something like this before where I put something on and then split it. And one of them worked and one of them didn't. So we'll see how this does. If it doesn't work, we call it an experiment that didn't make it. Now I only want to cut just really need to get that line pressed down there. I wonder if my Pokey Tool would do it. That might be better than the little thing that would cut through more than one layer. Let's see if that worked at all. Nope. But I think it helped it start. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if I can get it in here and slit it this way. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, come on, just this little bit left. And I don't want to cut myself. That would spoil the video. And it wouldn't make me too happy. There we go. All right. It's a little ragged on the one edge there, but I think I can get that pushed down. Not bad. There's a little bit of white right here, but maybe I'll just ink right there in that spot there. What do you think? Oh, there's a spot down here that doesn't want to stick and it doesn't want to come apart. All right, I like that. I think that worked out fairly well. What do you think? I got a little inked in there, but that's okay. So here's this place to journal. And there's a tag. And I could put something else on there. Let me see. I can't put anything at the top because that would close it totally. Well, let's see. Maybe we can find something, a number. Might be able to put a number on there. I'm beginning to think I need to print more numbers. I'm running out of them. Of the favorites, anyway. The smaller ones, I think, are the ones I use more. Trim this edge off a little bit here. And I'm going to ink the edges, of course. And as I've said before, and most people who do ink say the same thing, if you don't ink, don't worry about it. It's not a requirement to do this. It's just not. The main idea with this is to have fun and do something that you enjoy. And in the end, to have a product that you enjoy having. Get my pin back in there. Now I could put... I've got this. It's a little bit of ribbon that I got at Dollar Tree on a roll. And I actually could glue this to the back of it. If I had thought about it, I should have glued it in between, but I didn't. Didn't think about that. I could have glued it in between the layers there. Don't know whether I want to glue it inside like that. Actually, I would like it better if it was more of a tied thing. And cut down a little bit. So I think I am going to glue it onto the back. And I will get some Fabri-Tac for that. It's not quite the same blue, but I don't know that it matters all that much. Put a clamp on it to hold it in place because it wants to stick to my finger and not the paper. All right, we'll come back to that one in a few minutes also. Now maybe we'll go back to this big one and see what we want to do with this. Needs to fold over about there. I still don't think it's totally dry, but that's okay. It's going to work whether it wants to or not. And the paper cracked a little bit, so it does need to be inked. Now this big one provides quite a bit of space to journal in if you want to journal, so it could just be decorated on the front and be a spot that would open up and be a journal spot. I kind of like that idea. I don't know about everybody else, but sometimes if there's too much place to journal in a spot, for me anyway, in my own personal journal, sometimes I end up not filling a page for that date, and so then there's multiple dates in one area, and I don't always like that. Now this one would be perfect for putting pictures in. If you had pictures you wanted to add, it would hold your 4x6s or your small ones or whatever. If you put pictures in your journal. And it can go this way, or this way, or this way. How do I want to do it? I think I like it this way. Something a little bit different. And it does not want to stay folded the way I want it to. Okay. Not to be repetitive, but I think I'm going to go back to my girls over here because I've got one on a peachy dress and she would look great there. And I may just leave the whole thing here with the whole bit. Or not. Nope, we'll just have her. I'll get some other things to put on here. This one says flower on her. On her little writing right here. It is so tiny. Have no idea what it says. Okay. I want her somewhere on there. I don't know where yet. And I think we need some flowers. Wonder if I've got flowers that are peachy colored in here. I don't think so. They're mostly yellows and kind of whites. Let's see what this color would look like on here. Oh, those are kind of pretty on there. Okay. See, and then it goes into the yellows. I kind of like these. I think we'll try some of these. And I think these are on a stiffer plastic, and I really like that because they're easier to get off. It's easier to separate when they're on the heavier stuff. Okay, I may want more than just this, but we'll see. I was going to do this way, wasn't I? Let's put that one there. Maybe I want a little more of that. Maybe this piece here, this green piece. It's mostly green. Well, I don't know where I want it now. Do I want it here? Yep, I guess I do. That's where it ended up. All right, let's get her put down and then we'll get something else on here. There's a lot of area to cover and decorate. Matter of fact, I have an idea. I wish I hadn't put that flower so close to the edge. Well, that's all right. It will be okay. We'll put her down here. And I have some lace here. There it is. I have some peachy lace. I think it's probably elasticized, and I didn't want elasticized lace, but it'll be okay because I won't stretch it. Well, if you can't figure out where the opening is, make your own. That doesn't exactly go with that, does it? And that is elastic lace. I'm not sure I like that now. It doesn't quite match that. Okay, that one's out. Let's get a different lace. I want some lace on it and some pretty things on it. Hold on a second here. I've got more peach lace in here. I'm going to get that. I think it'll be better if I can find... Oh, it's right there on top. Yes, that's much better. All right. Oh, yes, that is much, much better. Do I want it down the side, or do I want it across the top? Or do I want it over here? I kind of like it there. I think that looks good. Cut off a piece here. It'll have to be trimmed and glued down good, but I like that. Now that could be glued, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue it to this part, and I need my Fabri-Tac for that. I think if I glued it to the other flap, it would probably come unglued at some point, and it may with this too, but this gives me more area to glue it to. Decide which is the right side. Well, I'm going to say it's this one. Okay, that's going to need to glue, or to dry for a while, to glue for a while. It's going to need to dry for a while. I probably need to get out my glue gun and use it, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. All right, flowers are going to go away. Now I think I need a butterfly. I like my butterflies. If I can find a peach one. Ooh, that's bright orange. That's not going to work. This is a maybe. It's a little bit bright. Don't want pink. Nope, don't want yellow. I could use a bluish gray. She's got a bluish gray, and there's kind of that and that. Let me see here what I have. Oh, that's a pretty one. Oh, I like that. I think that will be fine. Now this is something you could do for your stash. Do some of these and do them in colors that you're probably going to be making journals out of. And then you'd have them, and that's kind of what this is. This will go with a couple of journals that I've got in mind to make. Which means I'll have some ephemera ready, because that always ends up being a problem with me, of having enough ephemera to put in the journal. That's pretty. All right, let's see if this one's stuck. And it did. And this one here, and I think that's all I'm going to do. I do have other papers. I have another one here that I could do, and I have this multicolored one. But I think I'll do those off camera, and then I can show them to you next time if you're interested in them. And I keep thinking this needs something else, but I don't know what. Well, when I put it in the journal, maybe I'll figure it out. So there we have our little surprise opening. This one's the little tablet, paper pad, whatever. And this one is journaling space with lace on it. I think those are nice. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please come back. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Camille. Bye.